What's up, collectors? Today I'm in the mood for some more velvet. So let's take it to Arabia and check out Rihanna's Velvet Amber Oud. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. My name is Earl, and this is The Casual Collector. So I was in the mood to try something different, and I've always been a slight fan of Middle Eastern fragrances. Fragrances with oud, fragrances with incense. Anytime I see like a pretty box or a pretty bottle, I can kind of tell like it's either a Middle Eastern fragrance or a Middle Eastern inspired fragrance. But the strange thing is, this particular house, the house of Rihanna, I think is described as or pronounced as. The house of Rihanna doesn't have much online for me to really learn about them. Instead, every time I kept typing it in, the phone and the computer wanted to autocorrect to Rihanna. Now, granted, I love Rihanna. I'm thinking about getting some Fenty boxes. Everything she does, I'm pretty much a fan of. But she's not who I was looking for. I was looking for information about the house of Rihanna. Anytime I type in Rihanna perfumes, they have fragrances that pop up, but just really no information about them. And a couple of weeks ago, I was in the mall. I found a store that was carrying their fragrances, had the chance to sample them, and found one that I decided to bring home. So yes, I did buy it from the mall. I like to support sometimes. So with that, let's get into the review of Rihanna Velvet Amber Oud. So let's start with the presentation. I will tell you, when it comes to Middle Eastern fragrances, they typically really maximize the presentation quality in their fragrances. So it comes in this big red velvet box. It has the name of the fragrance here, also in Arabic. It's an eau de parfum. It has the label of the company, as well as on the top, it has the label of the company. And on the back, scan code and ingredients. When you open the box, you can tell it's sitting on this firm fitting platform. Beautiful presentation. Take it out of the box, and it sits in there very snug. You also have the same type of label on the front of the bottle. You can see the juice all the way around. It has a red hue on the glass. The cap is magnetic, but not one that you want to pick it up from the cap. Maybe from the gold frame, but definitely not from the cap. And a deep spraying atomizer. So by the name of the fragrance, you would think it's a floral, woody fragrance, which it is, but it's also definitely very fresh. It has some citruses up top or some citrus accords up top that makes this fragrance very fresh. The fragrance, from what I've seen online, is advertised as a woman's fragrance, although I didn't get it directly from the source because I can't find the website. But speaking to the sales associate when I was purchasing this fragrance, she pretty much told me that the line is a unisex line and they don't necessarily categorize either women or men or market to women or men. They market as a unisex. So as far as the note breakdown that I found online, this fragrance has the following notes. It opens with bergamot, lavender, citrus fruits, and florals. The mid has labdanum, leather, iris, oriental resins, oponex, and then the base has myrrh, honey, violet, and amber woods. In the opening, you get this really aromatic, citrusy floral scent with I think the fruits are really enhancing the violet. The violet is definitely strong, and I think if people are trying to decide if this is more suited for a male or a female, the violet might initially hint at going toward the feminine side, but as the scent starts to envelop, get into the heart and then the dry down, then it definitely becomes more unisex. To me, when it starts to dry down, I start to get more of the sweet components of it, like the oponex and the honey. The myrrh and the resins play like a faint role in the background. You can definitely tell it's there, giving it a smoky, incensey type feel, but not overbearing. This is definitely more on the floral side and then on the sweet side. On the dry down, I do get the woods, but the woods aren't really overpowering. They just show up. You know, they're like, hey, I'm here, but I'm just kind of here. I'm going in the back. So as far as projection and longevity, I get about an hour and a half of really strong aromatic projection. Definitely a really nice scent bubble that I have around me. Like I said, the citruses and the violets are very pronounced in the beginning before it dries down. As far as longevity, I get about a good 7 to 8 hours out of this fragrance. To me, it's difficult to describe this fragrance because while it opens up fresh and floral, I wouldn't necessarily call it a freshie. And then when it starts to dry down, it dries down into a more floral, sweet fragrance. It's one of those fragrances that doesn't have a complex note breakdown, but it has various stages. So it's probably a really more versatile fragrance. So to me, the versatility in this fragrance gives you the opportunity to wear this year round. I wouldn't necessarily categorize it as a fall or a winter scent because I think it can be pulled off in the spring and even in the summer. And because it's a versatile all season scent, I think you could also wear this in most all occasions. I don't know if you would necessarily grab this on a store run or a gym run, but everything else, this fragrance could go good for. You could dress it up, you could dress it down. Like I said, once you get past that opening, after about an hour, it dries down to a more sweet scent, but not sweet to where if you're in the summer heat, you're just gonna like annoy people. It's a really well balanced fragrance, and it has really good transitions from the opening to the heart and then down to the base. So as far as the price, it retailed in the store. Now, granted, I bought it from the mall. The retail price was 85. I was able to talk them down to 60, and that's kind of a good thing about these independent stores. They're willing to work with you in regards to price. I definitely wasn't going to pay $85 for this price. There was other fragrances that I probably would have grabbed, especially not knowing how it was going to develop on my skin. But I paid 65. Now, after I left the store because I had no Wi-Fi, I pulled it up just to see how far off I was. And this discounts at between $33 and $39. So I did overspend a little bit for the fragrance, but like I said, sometimes I like to go in the store and actually support the people that's working because, you know, without them, they wouldn't have a job, and eventually we wouldn't be able to smell anything without getting samples and decants from eBay and Facebook groups and places like that. So I do shop mainly online. I do mainly get my fragrances discounted, but every now and again I do like to go in the store. I do like to support. Plus I get to get my nose on fragrances that I probably either would not have known about, would not have really cared to buy a sample or a decant of. You know, maybe find a hidden gem. So how will I rate this fragrance? I give it an 8 out of 10. As far as the presentation is beautiful. I love this bottle. It's really heavy. It's not a cheap bottle. Besides the cap, the bottle is really a nice bottle. The box is really nice. I typically get rid of my boxes, but not this one. I keep it. As far as the scent is great. The scent is definitely a unisex. It definitely envelops from different stages, which is something that I really like about fragrances. Projection longevity is pretty good. Like I said, I don't know much about this house, and you know, I won't allow me not knowing much about the house to affect the rating. I kind of just wish they had more information about their house. Maybe have a website or something, but maybe they're doing good enough to where they don't need that. So whatever. But yeah, definitely an 8 out of 10. I think I said 8 out of 10. If I didn't, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. It's not an easy reach fragrance in the grand scheme of fragrances that I have, but it's nothing that I would like hide or never reach for. Like I said, I've worn it a couple times to like kind of get the idea so I can review it for you guys. But I could definitely see myself wearing this, especially to a party or something like that, or to a club or to a bar. Versatile. It is versatile. You can wear it whenever, but I would probably wear this to more of an event. That's just me. So I hope I was able to bring you guys some pretty good information about the house of Rihanna and then this fragrance, Velvet Amber Oud. You know, recording outside is a lot of fun. I actually like the audio a little bit better, but I'm gonna tell you, between the horns and the dogs and the takes in between that y'all don't see, man, I kind of feel all over the place. But hopefully you guys were able to really pick up something from this, and maybe you could even pick it up online. $33 or $39, not a bad price for a fragrance that lasts about 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours. Also, not a synthetic fragrance either. Just I want to make sure and make that known. Over the past few months, I've just noticed that between all of the niche fragrances and some of the indie fragrances that I bought, I'm really becoming irritable to fragrances that are either designer but have, the real strong alcohol smell, or fragrances that really just come off very synthetic. So I want to bring you guys the best quality fragrances that could add to your collection, that if you sold it for mere purposes of whatever you have personally going on, not because you didn't like it. So you probably won't hear about too many synthetic fragrances from me. And if you do, then there might be a good reason. But with that said, if you like this video, hit the like button, drop a comment. I respond back to everybody. I'm really enjoying the conversations that I'm having in my comments. And subscribe. I drop videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I don't want you to miss them. So until next time, check out the fragrance from Rihanna. And when you get ready to step out into the world, make sure you smell good and smile.